One, two, one, two, one, two. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Shannon Show. I don't need nobody else. Hope everybody's doing all right today. Today is Wednesday, August 21st. And I'm living for the city. Yeah. I don't need nobody else. Hey, hey, hey. All right. Hey, I say it again. I don't need nobody else. I don't need nobody else but you. Say it again. All right. All right. So I hope everybody's doing all right today. So welcome to the Shannon Show. Today is Wednesday, as I said, August 21st. It's kind of cool today. It's like 70 on last check. This whole week, well, somebody told me it's supposed to get up to the 90s, but this week been feeling like a fall week or something. It ain't even fall yet, but them last few nights, oh god, it just freezes me to death. I'm cold right now. I sure am. Ain't this summertime? It ain't even September yet, but man, I feel kind of cold. I sure do. I wonder if I go get my coat and my toboggan right now. I don't know, man. I can't take this. I don't need nobody else. I don't need nobody else. Say it again. So hope everybody doing all right today. Cause man, man, I am cold. When it's cold outside in the rain, wait until till night. I don't need nobody. Oh, boy, I feel warm. Hope everybody doing all right. I tell you when it get cool like this, especially in the summertime, but you expect this in the fall. It's like it's slowing me down, man. Hey, look, I ain't trying to do all that, man. It's like I don't want to go to work feeling like this. Getting them fall winter vibes. I mean, I can't take it anymore. Oh no. Hey, I said it again. I don't need nobody else. Yeah. Had tacos for dinner. Tacos pretty good. And put the sauce in the. I don't know. That Swiss cheese wasn't bad at all. Shredded up on there. It wasn't bad at all. It tastes kind of good. I don't know. I know Tuesday is Taco Tuesday, but you can have Taco Tuesday any day of the week. You can have Wednesday tacos if you want. Thursday tacos. Who's the hall monitor on this? Who's like the ambassador or the principal in charge of this? And you can't if you have Taco Tuesday, you in trouble. There'll be a knock on your door over to Taco Tuesday. I don't know who came up with Taco Tuesday. I don't need nobody else. I don't need nobody else. So yeah, I managed to make it here today. I didn't know if I was gonna make it or not on here, but I say it again. I don't need. Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad I made it. I'm glad I made it. Yeah, cause yeah, I don't need no. Mm-hmm. Oh, I said it again. I don't need no. Um, Yep. I know people. The stores already kicked in with their fall stuff in, and you already seeing Halloween stuff at the grocery store. This is August. You see the little pumpkin candy, pumpkin head. What's that? Reese's candy, whatever. At Kroger, I see it at Kroger already. Like my gosh, man, we ain't even done. Summer's almost halfway there, but goodness, they don't care. They just ready to get it on the shelves. Get it on the shelf. Get it on the shelf. Crazy, man. I don't need nobody else. I don't need nobody else. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I tell you what though, that work wasn't bad at all, but man, it's that Circus Soul delay that came in. It wasn't bad at all. I remember it coming like over 10 years ago. Me and Gravy was on it. First time I think that's actually the first call I remember really working on Gravy, LA Gravy. We was that Circus Soul delay. Fuzzy had us working. Actually, if we wanted to work overtime, so work stay back. I remember saying yeah. And so when I was sitting down working on those gels, putting those gels on the light today, it made me flash back that me and him working together. Cause I was telling somebody, I said, I think this is like the first time I actually remember actually working with him on a call. I think from that call forth, Fuzzy put us always paired us up working together. From I think it all started from that day with Circus Soul Delay. Circuit delay, is it circuit soul delay, circuit delay? I feel like I'm missing something. Circuit delay, circuit soul delay, universal soul circus. I don't know, circuit soul delay. I mean, I think it means son of the circus. No, son of the circle. Wait, circle of the sun. I think it's circus soul delay is circle of the sun. Or son of the circle. Circle of the sun, yeah. What it is a show that people they do acrobatics and stuff, which is really cool. I think they got a show in Las Vegas. Somebody was telling me that it's really good in Las Vegas, but they always tour. They've been touring for years. They even had one thing like back in 13. I think it was 2013. Yeah, it they had the Michael Jackson thing for Circus Soul Delay. I think I remember seeing this. It's like it's really cool, and the people are really talented. The acrobatics. I don't think no animals or anything involved. Like certain, just people doing the acrobatics in the air and stuff. It's really and the layout for it is really nice. But the way I remember it back in 13, I think it was 13. I was telling somebody on the stage. It seemed like they had all these bamboo sticks, like long, tall bamboo sticks on stage or something. I can't remember from where I remember. It was like tall, like kind of yellow brown looking bamboo sticks. They were like 15, 20 feet tall somewhere. It was giving the feel like you was in the jungle somewhere. Yeah. Yeah. I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody. But yeah. I say yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. But yeah, it was fun though. Circus Soul Delay. Previously on Circus Soul Delay. Yeah. But there's also Universal Soul Circus too. That's the black circus, Universal Soul Circus. They've been around over 15 years or so. Universal Soul Circus, you know. I don't need nobody else. I don't need nobody else but you. Universal Soul Circus. But yeah, I remember first going to the circus was Ringling Brothers, and like back in the 80s, my folks took me to see the Ringling Brothers. Barnum and Bailey's Ringling Brothers, which was really cool. And I remember having like this little flash gun. It was orange or blue or red or blue, and you push it like a little gun, like a cannon shape and a handle, and you push this metal button back and forth to trigger, and it would shoot little sparks out. It was fun. I used to push that thing as fast as I could. It go zzz, 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 and then it goes zzz, 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 and the sparks start shooting out. It was really fun. Cause I don't need nobody else. But yeah, it was cool though. Cause it was just cool. I'm just cool. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Get it up. I'll work you all night. But yeah, I don't need nobody. If y'all ever get a chance, share, like, and share my stream out, and plus go check out some of my YouTube shorts. I think I did a short the other day. It was because me and Gray, we both love this so-called Dr. Squatch, and like from Sasquatch. Dr. Squatch. And the newest one is the Bronco. I need to get it. It's themed after the Ford Bronco. It's called Bronco Brick. The other one's Freedom Fresh. You see like USA, freedom flag and whatever on there. It's kind of cool. Oh, I don't need nobody else. I don't need no. But yeah, it's really cool. Dr. Squash make a lot of cool stuff. Hey, 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 hey. Dr. Squash. They make all kind of cool soap. They've had, excuse me, they had Star Wars thing. You know what? I never see them do a Christmas thing. Now I like Duke Cannon soap. They're like Duke Cannon soap, like the first ones I started recognizing with like the really cool smells, like and the bars are really thick too. Those Duke Cannon soap bars, because we worked a few years ago and there was a convention that came through and they let us have some of the soap for free. And it was the Duke Cannon. It smelled good. And they had like a Santa Claus one. They had like a Christmas one. It was like really cool. I need to get back to the Duke Cannon ones, but I love that Dr. Squash a lot. I think the Dr. Squash bars are a lot smaller. They last about a week or so. But the Duke Cannons, they much bigger and thicker. So they'll last more than a week, I think, from the size because they're so thick. And Cracker Barrel sell, of course, the grocery stores. I've seen them at Myers. Myers sell those Myers sells the Dr. Squash and Duke Cannon. They even got a liquid version of liquid soap of Duke Cannon, but I think the bar is so much better. It's that fresh smell like from a bar. I like soap, old school soap bars. I used to use growing up, Safeguard, Dial. Those was like my favorites, Safeguard and Dial. And last time I remember smell they had in the bathroom as a hand soap at Arby's. Safeguard, because Safeguard is really cool soap bar. Safeguard and Dial. They still make Dial to get the liquid. I think you can get the soap too, but I don't know if you can get the bar of Safeguard. I think like I still see like Ivory, Coastal Ivory. Who else? Irish Spring, Irish Spring. But yeah, but Dr. Squash is the one I like. They got some kind of deal now, like 5 for 10, but the bricks, I guess, much smaller. You can get like 5 bars for $10. They're much smaller than the regular size brick bars. And see, with that Dr. Squash soap, it's more natural. It's all natural too. It comes from all natural stuff that they use to make it. It's really good stuff. I started recalling first seeing those commercials, ads on YouTube. Well, seeing them in YouTube as far as seeing the ads for Dr. Squash. Oh yeah, I got the power. I don't need nobody else but you and myself. Shucks. I don't need nobody else but you. But yeah, Dr. Squash, what else? There's some other good stuff, but Dr. Squash is like, I think, my favorite. But there was one of those Duke Cannon soaps that I had. It had a little, it was a little too scenty for me, and I don't like too much scented stuff in it. I can like deal with a little scent or no scent at all. Just overbearing on some of it. But one or two of those bars seemed like it was, and it bothered my skin with the Duke Cannon. But I never had no trouble with the Dr. Dr. Squatch bars. All of them are good. They had the what's that? Fresh Falls, the barrel. I can't think of the barrel, but all their scents are really good. I never had no trouble with them. They even had Marvel bars. They had Captain America, Thor, Hulk, as I recall, as far as different themes because they had Star Wars and then the Marvel superheroes. I wonder who next they would do as far as things, like be cool like do somebody like I don't know, Star Trek. Or like somebody from a TV show, like old school. How about like the Jeffersons, the Sanford and Son soap bars from them. Fred and Lamont theme, Sanford and Son theme soap. I wanna, 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 uh, 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 dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, bum, ba-dum, It's really cool. That's one of my favorite themes. Of course, Sanford and Son. Quincy Jones scored the theme song for Sanford and Son. Yep. Quincy Jones has done a lot of music. As I said before, like with the Wiz, man, it's like who he hasn't worked with, huh? He worked with the great ones: Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, Dizzy Gillespie, Stevie Wonder, a lot of artists. He was in the video back in the 80s. Quincy was the conductor, the lead for "We Are the World." Quincy was in charge of everybody. We are the world, and he had a sign. I think he said, "Check your ego at the door." Which makes sense because all those celebrities for that video for "We Are the World" song. That's a lot of egos to deal with. So the first thing he said was check your ego at the door, because they just want everybody to get along, come in, have fun, cause everybody all superstars. So that's amazing to try to have all those people in one place trying to collaborate and work together on one song. Man, could you imagine just the mindset dealing with that? Because everybody's doing that thing. Everyone in there is famous. Famous stars, musicians, and like actors, whatever. It's like it's crazy, man. We Are the World. That was big too. I know MTV wore it out. MTV, BET, it was all they played it every day. We Are the World. Had Ray Charles in there, Stevie Wonder, of course, Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie. I think Michael and Lionel wrote the song "We Are the World." Cyndi Lauper was in there. Bruce Springsteen, Huey Lewis from Huey Lewis and the News. Who else? Tina Turner. Uh, what's his name? Bob Dylan is in there. The Pointer Sisters in there. The Jacksons, like some of the other Jacksons in there. Uh, Kenny Loggins, Kenny Rogers, James Ingram. Uh, Everybody was in there. That was a really good song. Another song I like was came out. I think I had to be in the third grade. It's called "King Sing Celebrate." A lot of celebrities, musicians came together and made a theme song called "King Celebrate." It's about Martin Luther King, celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. And here had like Lisa and Colt Jam, Full Force, New Edition, Tina Marie, Elder Barge, uh, Grandmaster Melly Mel from Grandmaster Flash is in there. Curtis Blow, the Fat Boys. The Fat Boys kick it off. Stephanie Mills, James JT Taylor from Kool and the Gang, the lead singer for Kool and the Gang back in the 80s. Stephanie Mills. Uh, who else was in there? Stacy Lattisaw. Man, everybody was in it. Menudo was in there. Menudo was in the video. If you ever get a chance to check that out, that's a really nice song. I think they did a remake of it like a few years ago. King Sing Celebrate. I think Wyclef might have been on it, but it just to me it just wasn't the same as like the original. I think they did a remake or it was a remake of We Are the World, but I think that's the one Wyclef might have been in, but it wasn't the same as the original. Man, but I think the 80s had a lot more Of course, I always go back to the 80s because the 80s was fun. You know, it's like the music. It's like I guess we didn't realize how the ones people growing up in the 80s how good they had it in the 80s listening to the music. You know, because it was a whole lot better. It's like I don't know. Maybe I kind of took it for granted. You know, it's always gonna be there that good kind of music that you enjoyed. You know, and you always gonna get good music. You know, whether it's from BT, MTV, whatever, or on the radio. You know, music took it for granted. Well, I mean, you can still listen to it now, but you always thought it'd be good stuff on TV like that all the time. You know, whether it was music, TV shows, or game shows. Game shows were better back then. You know, it's cool to still see Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune after all these years still going. I think Pat Sajak supposedly retired. I'm not sure. And of course, updated on Wheel of Fortune. Vanna, I'm sure she got tired of flipping those ladders all touchscreen. Merv Griffin, the one who created Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. Merv Griffin. Merv Griffin. Yep, Merv Griffin. What else was good shows? Game shows. Press Your Luck. That was a good show. Press Your Luck was a good show. And what Supermarket Run? I think that's the name of it. It came out back in the late '80s. Was another show. Sell of the Century. What else? Game shows we used to watch? Because Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy. Man, Sell of the Century. Uh, $20,000 Pyramid with Dick Clark was another good show. The Dating Game, Love Connection, The Dating Game. Chuck Woolery. There was a lot of good good shows on. One of the shows I remember during the summertime, I guess it was reruns, but Silver Spoon would come on. Then after Silver Spoon would go off, Sell of the Century would come on, which was a good show. Of course, Price is Right still going. Price is Right been on forever. First it was Bob Barker, then he passed the torch on to Drew Carey. I think Drew Carey is still doing it. No, oh wait. Is Drew Carey still doing it? I think he is. No, Wayne Brady is doing Monty Hall used to be uh what's that show? No, but it's like Behind the Doors with it. Monty Hall, Wayne Brady did it. Uh Not Press Your Luck, but it'd be like three different doors. You had to pick which one. Not Press Your Luck, but I can't think. I can't think of it. Monty Hall. Let me find the show. Monty Hall. And people would come up dressed up in costumes on that show. Monty Hall. Monty Hall for. Yeah, Let's Make a Deal. And I think I think it still comes on. Wayne Brady hosts, the new one. Let's Make a Deal. But it was cool to see people come up with those creative outfits. Let's Make a Deal. So I think it's still running. Let me check. Yeah, so it's still going. Let's Make a Deal. And Wayne Brady is the host, I think. Yeah. I think Wayne Brady is the host, still hosting it. Let's Make a Deal. Or Monty Hall. Yep. Let's celebrate. But yeah, Let's Make a Deal. What was another good show? I think Vanna White. I first saw there was an episode. You see, Vanna White was on The Price is Right. It had to be like the early '80s before she became got onto Wheel of Fortune with Pat Sajak. Yeah, Vanna White. It's amazing a lot of these shows you see people before they were famous, or how they got discovered. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. Vanna White. Oh, hey, Gravy, I appreciate you sharing the stream, man. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, I think Brave did. But yeah, what else came out? There's so many shows. Or like on Saturday nights, I know 8 o'clock, 227 would come on. Then 8:30, Amen would come on with Sherman Hemsley, George Jefferson, from the Jeffersons. Then 9 o'clock, Golden Girls would come on. I think A Team would also come on Saturdays, and Night Rider. A Team and Night Rider would come on Saturdays. The way I remember it on Fridays, I couldn't wait to get out of school. Cause you remember Dallas would come on. Airwolf would come on. I think on Fridays, and it seemed like Falcon Crest and Knots Landing would come on early during the week. And I think Dynasty would come on like Tuesdays, if I'm not mistaken. I think the way I remember it, Dynasty. Even Prince included in a song Kiss. You don't have to watch Dynasty. Mm-hmm. So I show you Prince up there watching Dynasty, or you assume he did. He brought it up. And famous actress on Dynasty was Diane Carroll, who played Julia the nurse back in the '60s, and her son was Jordan. And what's her name? Joan Collins was on there. John Fawcett. He was the voice for Charlie's Angels. He was Charlie from Charlie's Angels. With the original cast was Farrah Fawcett, not Cheryl Ladd. She came later on. Farrah Fawcett, what's her name? Jackson, and I can't think. And Kate Jackson and Jacqueline Smith. Yeah, from Charlie's Angels. So then Farrah left. So I think Cheryl Ladd came and replaced her. So the cast kept changing out. Then Tanya Roberts came in and replaced one of them later on, the Angels, but they kept swapping out over the years. So Farrah only did like 1 year. I think Farrah Fawcett, she was married to Ryan O'Neal. They end up getting divorced or whatever, or however it went down. Because next thing I know, she ended up with Lee Majors, the $6 million man. Lee Majors did $6 million man. He also did the Fall Guy in the '80s. Fall Guy was a good show too with him. Also, there was Hardcastle McCormick with Brian Keith. He was in there. He was a judge. I think he was Judge Hardcastle. Brian Keith was from a reference. He was from a TV show called not Family Matters, Family Affair. It came out in the '60s. He was Uncle Bill, and he had two nieces and a nephew, Jody Buffy and Sissy, and their butler was Mr. French. So basically, he was their uncle. He took care of them because his brother and his wife were killed in the accident. Their parents were killed in the accident, so he ended up taking care of them. Like I think they were supposed to stay for the weekend or something. Then their parents passed away, died in an accident, so he ended up being the guardian. It's a really good show, and Buffy was the girls. Buffy and Jody, I think, were twins. Sissy was way older, like 8 or 9 years older than them. But I remember what Buffy, her favorite doll was, which is iconic. It's a collector's item. It was Mrs. Beasley, a little doll. She had like a little, I don't know, baby outfit on or something, and she had these glasses. And I think there was a string that you pull, and I believe she would talk, if I'm not mistaken, Mrs. Beasley. But it's like a collector's item. It goes for a lot of money. I've seen on eBay, Mrs. Beasley. You know, I guess it was a good way of plugging toys back in those days. Advertisement. Evil Knievel came out in the late '60s, early '70s. Evil Knievel motorcycle, where you would take the motorcycle and put it on like there's this handle, this device like a ramp. You put his motorcycle on there. You would take the handles on the right. You would crank it up, and then I guess it would release and it would take off. There was what was the other one? Armstrong was what was that toy Armstrong? He was Stretch Armstrong, if I'm not mistaken. Stretch Armstrong was another iconic toy back in Stretch Armstrong came out, it said 1976. I think I actually got the Funko Pop Stretch Armstrong, but Stretch Armstrong was a big deal as well. So Stretch Armstrong, Evil Knievel, Mrs. Beasley. Of course, then Mattel came out with Mattel Football. And then Mattel was already known for Barbie. I think Barbie came out in the 50s. Barbie been around forever. Like, man. Barbie, Mattel. Mattel made I think Mattel made Intellivision video game system that came out. I think Intellivision came out in the 70s. Television. I think so. Yeah, Mattel made Intellivision. So Intellivision came out in 1979. Mattel Electronics, 1979, which is cool. Yeah. So Atari was already out. So Intellivision, ColecoVision, and Atari. This was all before Nintendo and Sega had came out. And Magnavox, Philips Magnavox Odyssey came out. They were already going at it. What came first, Intellivision or Atari? The first Intellivision home video game console was released by Mattel Electronics in 1979. 1979, selling an estimated 5 million units through 1990 in it. And for the market share against Atari 2600, which was released in 1977. And matter of fact, my buddy Brad, who does Brad's reviews, go check that out. We did a review on the Atari game because he went to a video game convention back in not January, but June. Him and Gravy, and he got a copy of the game called Alien Abduction, and it's from the guys who started Activision, but now it's Audacity Games. But the thing with that, I was over his house. It's amazing those graphics look really good. They were like 8-bit graphics, and I think the thing with Intellivision, it was so much more expensive. Like the Atari, the graphics wasn't as good, but Atari had a wider variety of video games. That's what caused it to sell more, outsell the Intellivision because it was cheaper too, and they had more games. But Intellivision was more expensive, but the graphics were better too. But I don't think their game library wasn't as big. Wasn't as big as Atari, but their Intellivision is really nice. Yeah. Hey, how you doing, Mama? Press Your Luck. Yeah, Press Your Luck was a good show because I remember you would watch it. Press Your Luck. Yeah, Press Your Luck was a good show. You were yeah, I remember you watching all the time back in the like early mid 90s. Yeah, watching Press Your Luck. Yeah, Press Your Luck was a good show to watch. Press Your Luck. Yeah, oh yeah, Let's Make a Deal. Yeah, Monty Hall. And what's the one? Supermarket. Is it Supermarket Sweep? Because Guy Fieri got a show on the Food Network. It's called Guys Groceries something. And it's like you could tell it's a play off of Supermarket. I think that's it. Supermarket Sweep, Supermarket Run, or Supermarket. What's the name of it? Supermarket? Let's see. Supermarket. Yeah, Supermarket Sweep. Yeah. Leslie Jones used to host it a few years ago. Final episode, January 3rd, 2022. Yeah, Leslie Jones was hosting. She used to be she's a comedian, and she was on the SNL cast, but she left. Leslie Jones. Yeah. But that's super. I know you used to watch Supermarket Sweep too. It was a fun show to watch. And it's funny. It was a show, I think they had some kind of nostalgia moment episode where the daughter, I think it was mom and daughter, were back during the 90s or something. And then they came back a few years ago on the new one with Leslie Jones. They actually showed a reel or something where the mom or the daughter were on the show together or something. And they did a flashback. It was like over 30, 40 years ago or something like that. They showed a flashback. But yeah, Guy Fieri has a show. Guys Groceries. Let's see, Guys Grocery Games. Yeah, Guys Groceries Games. Guys Grocery Games. I think it's a play off of it. Supermarket Sweep. It's a really good show to watch. Yep. Uh, what else? What else came on? I can't think. Mm. Wheel of Fortune, and I know, and Jeopardy came on every day, Monday through Friday, and I think too. I think on Jeopardy used to come on Saturdays, but I think it was Super Jeopardy when it came on Saturdays. I think the way I remember it, it was Super Jeopardy. Cause I thought it was like, man, there's Jeopardy and there's Super Jeopardy. Super Jeopardy on it would come on ABC. ABC WTVD 11. Uh, but yeah, a lot of stuff, good stuff came on. I think yeah, BET had better TV shows on. They would actually show like old shows, play back old shows like of course they would show reruns of Sanford and Son, and then there was Sanford when it was just Red Fox. He came back, but Lamont had moved out and got married, so he had Calvin with him, and Rollo were there on the cast, and then another show came on. They had on beat. They would show reruns of like "Baby I'm Back" with Lamont. I think that's what it was. It was "Baby I'm Back" because after Demond Wilson left Sanford and Son, he went to do that show "Baby I'm Back" where he plays a dad called Ray. His character I think was Ray, and he was married to Denise Nichols from the show Room 222. She's his wife, and it was Kim Fields who was his daughter, and the other guy who played Jordan. The character was Jordan, so it was Jordan and Angie were his kids, and the lady who played Denise Nichols' mom was Helen Martin. You know, she would see her. She played Wanda. She would cry. She would always cry. You see her on Good Times. She's always. It don't matter what it was. She would turn. She would always crying if it was a funeral. It didn't matter what. She was Wanda. I think her name was Wanda, but she also played Pearl on 227 with Marley Gibbs, you know, her next door neighbor. I think she lived under her, you know. And Pearl, her grandson was Calvin. You know, Calvin was friends with Brenda, Regina King, Curtis. I can't think of his name, but his first name is Curtis, the guy who played Calvin from 227. But yeah, then because Marla Gibbs, her character, you know, she played Florence Johnston on The Jeffersons, and then next thing you know, bam, she doing 227. Mm-hmm. Who else? It was a lot of good guest appearances on 227. I know it was an episode with the Temptations on there. They had the Temptations. I can't think of other guests, but oh, Roxy Rocker, who played Helen Willis from the Jeffersons, was on there. Even Sherman Hemsley, I think he might have made a. I can't say for sure, but I know Roxy Rocker, who played Helen Willis. You know, she's also Lenny Kravitz's mom as well. She made appearance on a guest appearance on the show. There was a lot of good guests on that show as well. And like Paul Winfield, who played in Sounder with Cicely Tyson, he ended up being a cast member on there. Like in the later episodes before the show went out, it was Paul Winfield, Stoney Jackson. They were like the other neighbors in the building, mm-hmm. Which is really cool. But good stuff. I wanna. Oh yeah, Star Search used to come on Saturdays. I used to look forward to seeing Ed McMahon. That was all before American Idol, uh, America's Got Talent, all of that. That's all you seem like. All you had was Star Search. You get quarter of a stars, 2 stars, 3 stars. Everybody be watching Ed McMahon, see what he gonna say. I know Usher's been on there. You see a flashback. You see Usher on there. Who was else on Star Search? Everybody. But that was like the big thing watching Star Search. She was gonna be the next talent. Yeah. Star Search. 2.5 stars, 2 quarters, a quarter of a star. Hmm. I don't know what it seemed like a lot of times because some of those celebrities end up getting big. They didn't get the most stars. Like the ones who got the most stars, you never really. It seemed like to me, I never saw them being as famous or being a big star. Like the ones who might have had like a star or two. It seemed like the one who lost ended up being the bigger star than the one who won. You thought would have been the bigger star, but it's funny how that worked out. Stars. I think Star Search. I think what's his name? Bruno Mars was on Star Search. Yeah, I think Bruno Mars was on Star Search. Now I think it was sad about Ed McMahon. I think he ended up dying broke. I can't. Something happened. Ed McMahon, because all those years he was on the Johnny Carson show. It's like, man, you think Ed was raking it in? He used to do Ed McMahon sweepstakes too. Ed McMahon. Yeah. So let me see. Ed McMahon. I think did he broke. How much money did Ed McMahon have? The work paid handsomely. Some reports said 5 million, 5 million a year. But mm, did he die broke? I'm trying to see Ed McMahon. Mm. How much Ed McMahon? How did Ed McMahon lose his wealth? Say in June 2008, it was announced that Ed McMahon was 644,000 behind on payments on a $4.8 million in mortgage loans and was fighting to avoid foreclosure on his multi-million-dollar Beverly Hills home. McMahon was also sued by Citibank for 180,000. Wow. How much money did Ed McMahon have? The Tonight Show became the country's most popular late night. Yeah. But how much money does the McMahon family have? About 4.8 billion. No, not that. Is McMahon a billionaire? Not. No, not Vince McMahon. Question on here: did Johnny Carson get along with Ed McMahon? The men remained friends until Carson's death in 2005. But although McMahon said they were as close as two non-married people can be, they rarely spoke in later years. He doesn't give friendship easily or need it. McMahon said he packs a tight suitcase. Wow. Who is Johnny Carson's best friend? Ed McMahon's best known as Johnny Carson's sidekick. I knew that. The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson from 1962 to 1992. He's always opened the show with his signature introduction. Here's Johnny. Wow, from 62 to 92? That's 30 years. Yeah, Supermarket Sweep. Yeah, that's it, Mom. Yeah, Supermarket Sweep. Yeah, that was a good show. Mm-hmm. Yep, Supermarket Sweep was a good show to watch. I think the show did it stay on for like 30 minutes. It went for like 30 minutes. I think the time frame for Supermarket Sweep. Mm. How long did the Supermarket Sweep run for? Supermarket Sweep is an American game show which originally aired between December 20th, 1965 through July 14th, 1967 on the ABC network. February 5th, 1990 through. Oh, wow. So it originally came on through 65 through 67. Then it rebooted back in 1990 to 95, then 2000 to 03, and 2020 to 22. Wow. Host Bill Malone, David Ruppert, Rupp, Ruppert, Ruppert, Leslie Jones. Wow. But I came in on the one on the 90s from 90 to 95. I couldn't believe it was back in the 60s too. Serious, curious. Supermarket Sweep. Yeah. Welcome to the Supermarket Sweep. And here's your host, Leslie Jones. Okay. Yeah, Sale of the Century. Yeah, it don't seem. It seemed like that. I remember watching reruns during the summertime after Silver Spoons went off for Sale of the Century. Of course, Different Strokes. Different Strokes would come on reruns, and Different Strokes would come on. Facts of Life reruns would come on. The Facts of Life. Mm-hmm. Yep. Sale of the Century. Dun, 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 dun. And what else? Let me see what other game shows came in the 80s. It was a lot of shows. 80s game shows. 80s. Here we go. 80s game shows. Of course, Press Your Luck, Jeopardy, Love Connects. Yeah, Win, Lose, or Draw was a good show. I think that show came on Thursdays. I think Wednesdays or Thursdays. That was a really fun show to watch. Win, Lose, or Draw. Uh, Match Game, Hollywood Squares was another good one. What's that? Blockbusters. Remote Control was another good one. Finders Keeper. American Gladiators. Yep. Scrabble. I think Chuck Woolery hosted Scrabble. Scrabble was a good show. I remember that. Scrabble. Bumper Stumper. Of course, Price is Right. Big Spin. Something Blitz. One season. Funhouse. Yeah, Super Password. Chance of a Lifetime. Countdown. Funhouse. Starcade. Starcade. Okay, that was another good show. Wheel of Fortune. 15 to 1. Brain Games. How You See It. But yeah, of course, yeah, $20,000 pyramid. Dick Clark. But yeah, American Gladiators was a good show. Remote Control. Remote Control came on MTV. Love Connection with Chuck Woolery. Classic. Oh, Concentration was a show. And Alex Trebek was the host. Chain Reaction. Of course, oh yeah, Family Feud. You can't forget that with Richard Dawson. Now that was a really good show to look forward to watching was Family Feud, Richard Dawson. Because Richard Dawson, he was an actor. He played on the show called not McHale's Navy, but not McHale's Navy, but what is it? Bob. I forgot his name. Bob. He was not McHale's Navy, but let's see, Richard Dawson. Ivan Dixon was on there. Ivan Dixon. Richard Dawson. He was on. Oh yeah, Richard Dawson was also in the Running Man. He was the host in the Running Man. Yeah, Hogan's Heroes. Hogan's Heroes is another good show. Mama's Family, Love Boat, Family Ties, of course, Fantasy Island. Yeah, of course, Laugh In. Everybody was on Laugh In. Love American Style. That was a good show. I kind of saw an episode or two. I think it was Gary Marshall created the show, and I think from Love American Style, uh, Happy Days was a spinoff from Love American Style, like Mork and Mindy was a spinoff from Happy Days. Because you would see him, not Henry Winkler, but Robin Williams. He was always up here on there as Mork from Ork, and then he ended up getting his own show. Gary Marshall produced, and Gary Marshall also produced Laverne and Shirley with his sister Penny Marshall as well. I believe Penny Marshall directed A League of Their Own with Tom Hanks, Madonna, and Rosie O'Donnell. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Penny Marshall. I believe she directed. I think she did direct League of Their Own. A League of Their Own. Mm-mm. Let me see who's the director. Yeah, I believe Penny Marshall was the director. And of course, the famous line is "There's no crying in baseball." Yeah, Madonna was in there. Yeah, Penny Marshall. Penny Marshall is the director. Madonna's in there. Lori Petty. Yeah, Gina Davis. Wow, everybody's in there. Ann Ramsey, Freddie Simpson. Some names I recognize, some I don't. Mm-mm. Oh wow, John Lovitz was in there. Janet Jones. Play a League of Their Own. That's a classic movie. Of course, Bull Durham, that was shot in Durham, North Carolina, with uh Kevin Costner, Susan Sarandon. Yeah, another good movie, Bull Durham. Mm-mm. But Tom Hanks, I like Tom Hanks. He's done a lot of good movies. I first saw Tom Hanks on a show called Bosom Buddies, where him and his buddy Peter Scolari played Henry Desmond. They both dressed up like ladies so they could live in a hotel because they couldn't afford to live nowhere else, and it was cheaper to live in. But he was also on a he was on the episode of Happy Days, and so was Rita Wilson, his wife, Rita Wilson, the actress. Rita Wilson. She played on the movie Arnold Schwarzenegger, uh, Turbo Man. Well, no, Jingle All the Way. But the famous action figure was Turbo Man in that movie. But Rita Wilson, she was also in Joe versus, was it Joe versus, no, Joe versus Volcano, no, Volunteers. John Candy and Tom Hanks did that movie Volunteers as well. It was a good movie. Volunteers, Joe versus the Volcano. Uh, Tom Hanks, I saw him in Splash with Daryl Hannah. I know Splash was directed by Ron Howard, who di- who directed Splash. He was also played Richard Cunningham in Happy Days, of course. Opie Cunningham, not Opie Cunningham, Opie Taylor from Andy Griffith. Ron Howard. I think the first movie Ron Howard directed, I think he was like 23. I think it was called Grand Theft. Grand Theft. Ron Howard. No. Yeah. think it was, but of course, I think one of his biggest movies was Apollo 13 with Tom Hanks in it. So he'd already worked with Tom Hanks before in Splash. So then Apollo 13, you know, Grand Theft. I think Grand Theft was his like first one. I think. All night. That's brother Ron Howard's brothers Clint Howard, and his dad was Ranch Howard. Rance Howard. Mm-hmm. Man, that's a lot of TV to watch. Mm-mm. All right. I guess trying to get on here for a little bit. I guess I'll go ahead and get off of here because I'm slowing down. Mm-mm. Slow down. All right, Mama. I appreciate you coming on here. I enjoyed it. It was fun getting on here for a little bit. Yep, yep. So I appreciate anybody else who was listening and checking it out. I need to start. I think I need to start get some guests on here for interviews. Do actual live streams with guests. You know, I got some other stuff I'm working on. Working on getting through it, trying to get to it, get my stuff done, so I can have some more stuff on here. You know, I think it'd be fun to have some guests come on, do interviews or whatever on here in the live streams on Wednesday. I've been trying to figure out who to book and get on here. You know, I think it'd really be fun. Get somebody fun, you know, something interesting, you know. Maybe have some live streams where there's some cooking involved. Somebody who cook food is really good at cooking. I can have it set up, you know, with the guests like they do, like the same thing they do on TV. Have guests come on, cook meals, and stream it live. I think it'd be kind of fun. So I got some ideas I'm coming up with. So I got some new stuff in the works for sure. All right, everybody. So see y'all next Wednesday, 7 o'clock, same time, same day on a Wednesday. I think I can get another Wednesday out next week. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can get one more Wednesday out of the week. I sure can. I can squeeze out another Wednesday for this month. All right, y'all. So till next week. Till next time. Next week, 7 o'clock. Next Wednesday. All right, Mom. I love you. All right, I'll call you this week as well. So, all right. Good night, everybody. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Mm-mm.